Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us today. Welcome to the broadcast. Karamu House kicks off its centennial year with its 2014 Hall of Fame induction ceremony on June the 14th. The event manager's Peter Lawson-Jones is here to tell us more about the event, and we'll hear from Senior Vice President of the Benjamin Rose Institute, Linda Noelker. She'll tell us about the Innovation in Caregiving Awards. And later on the broadcast today, from Dr. Laurie McWilliams of the Cleveland Clinic and stroke survivor Eugenia Cash. They're here to tell us about the American Heart Association's annual Power of Laughter Luncheon and Health Expo. I like that, the power of laughter. Ha ha ha. We'll laugh some more on that one too. Good morning, everybody. I'm Bibb. Good to have you with us here. And with my good friend, Peter Lawson-Jones, who's the event manager for the Karamu Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Hey, Peter.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Oh,
always good to see you.
This is one of my former neighbor, Peter and I used to live one door apart, and we used to see.
He was a great neighbor.
Great neighbor here. Used to see it every morning. We'd grab the newspaper on the front porch.
In our robes and slippers. Yeah. Quite a sight.
Two different houses, though. Good to see you, Peter. You're involved with Karamu Theater, that historic theater on the east side of Cleveland. Give us a little thumbnail sketch of what Karamu Theater has done over the last 100 years.
And as you said, Karamu is getting ready to celebrate its centennial. Matter of fact, its centennial year began this spring. And you don't reach the age of 100 by accident.
True.
You have to be doing something right. And Karamu has developed an international reputation for nurturing, in particular, African-American artists, but artists of all ethnic groups. It has an extraordinary preschool program, Preschool for the Arts program, cultural and educational outreach programs, but it's known for its theater.
Right there at Quincy Avenue and East 89th Street.
Just south of the Cleveland Clinic campus, and it's been there for many a year.
Peter, tell me, I know you and your wife, Lisa Payne-Jones, are both the event managers on this, and good to have you with us. Tell me what's going to happen for that Hall of Fame induction now.
Well, you know, it's a whole weekend of activities, and this is the fourth time that we've had the Karamu Hall of Fame induction ceremony and dinner. On the night of the 13th, there will be a VIP reception.
That's of June.
June 13th. And following that, there will be a performance of The Color Purple at the historic Karamu Theater, followed by a free alumni reception. So if you've ever been affiliated with Karamu as a performer or behind the scenes or as an administrator or a board member, come and enjoy this free reception, which you have richly deserved.
And certainly there are people who have graduated from Karamu and gone on to international fame.
Robert Guillaume, the late Ron Superfly O'Neill, Minnie Gentry, who is Terrence Howard's great-grandmother. You can go on, and will be honoring some of these greats on June 14th at our banquet. People like Ivan Dixon, the late Ivan Dixon, who was a star on Hogan's Heroes and performed in an iconic film, Nothing But a Man, and directed The Spook Who Sat by the Door. And the writer of that book just passed this week. And we'll also be inducting Essie Patha Murkerson. If anybody knows that sound, ding ding, from Law and Order, she played Lieutenant Anita Van Buren for 17 years on the second longest running TV series in American TV history.
So it's going to be a star-studded event.
No doubt, it's the place to be. If you like theater and the arts and film, you'll want to be in Greater Cleveland.
Speaking of which, you have graced the theater at Karamu many years.
The
former county commissioner here in Cuyahoga County, who now is going just about full-time now with theater.
Between consulting and performing, I'm fortunate to be a member of both actors' unions at this point, and just played the lead in a play at Karamu a few months ago, Ceremonies and Dark Old Men, an American theater contemporary classic.
How do people get tickets to this induction? Now the induction, the ceremony and dinner is on Saturday, June 14th, 6 o'clock at the Silver Grill in the Higbee building, 200 Prospect Avenue.
And that's a beautiful,
that's the same building where the Horseshoe Casino is.
Absolutely.
The old Higbee
it's part
building.
of that same complex.
Part of the same complex. How do people get tickets and what's it cost?
Well, call 216 216-795-7070. 216-795-7070, extension 222.
And
3 deuces. It's easy to remember.
We can remember.
Yeah.
And there was a TV show called 220, Room 222.
222.
Just think about that.
So tie that in. We try to make it
together.
easy for you.
I have a piece of this too because I'm going to be your master of ceremonies for that.
And we are looking forward
to that
to
June
that.
14th thing.
Right.
So the two
Well,
of
you're
us
a fellow
together.
thespian as well, so you'll appreciate
I act
this.
a little bit around town, and I'm always looking for another stage. You know, this stage is not enough. I need some more. Sometimes.
And we're happy that News Channel 5 is one of our sponsors. And I have to give a quick shout out, if you wouldn't mind, to our sponsors. J.P. Morgan Chase is our title sponsor. Medical Mutual, PNC Bank, our presenting sponsors. Cleveland Clinic, Fifth Third Bank, Key Bank, Cleveland Museum of Art, Cuyahoga Metropolitan Housing Authority, Ulmer & Byrne, LLP, the law firm, University Hospital, and again, News Channel 5. We have a great list of sponsors for this event. We are extremely excited about it. We think it's going to be it is the place to be in, I'd say, the nation.
Yeah, let's give it a good plug. It's going to be Saturday, June 14th, 6 o'clock at the Silver Grill in the Higbee Building. That's where the Horseshoe Casino is in downtown Cleveland, Prospect Avenue there, right at the corner of Prospect and Ontario. And you can get more information by calling 795-7070, extension 222. There's a number at the bottom of the screen. Say, I'm going to steal 30 seconds right here.
Sure.
What are you doing right now in theater? Well, you're always got something going.
Well, this has been an incredible week for me. I have had 5 auditions. A film in Cleveland, a film in Detroit, a film in Pittsburgh. I've got an audition after leaving your studio for some voiceover work, and a 5th audition for a play on a Sunday. So the theatrical season is really coming to a close. I did 2 plays last year, The Exonerated and Ceremonies in Dark Old Men. And so I'm looking forward to the next projects, whatever they might be.
You and I did a stage reading of a soldier's play. Yeah, we had a good.
I think you chewed me out in that.
I think
particular.
I played the bad guy in that one. I played the bad guy.
I wasn't much better.
Yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Take care, Peter. It's going to be a wonderful time. June the 14th, Karamu Theater's big celebration. Thank you, Peter. I'm going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. We'll be back right after this. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us. The Senior Vice President of the Benjamin Rose Institute on Aging and the Chair of the National Center of Creative Aging, Linda Noelker, is here to share information about this year's Innovation in Caregiving Awards. She's also going to explain how creative and performing arts positively impact the health of older adults. Good to have you with us, Linda.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Tell me about the mission of the Benjamin Rose Institute on Aging.
Benjamin Rose was established back in 1908 by a wealthy industrialist who wanted to preserve some of his wealth on behalf of older adults who had fallen on hard times. And so he established a board. They're all women by virtue of his will. And we have since served older adults in all kinds of capacities. We have home and community-based services. We have mental health, social work, nursing, adult day. We have an Applied Aging Research Institute and a Policy Institute.
Well, you do quite a lot of work up there at Fair Hill and Martin Luther King Drive.
We opened up our new headquarters last year, and we put on a 6,000 square foot conference area so that we could do more education and training. But our commitment is really to older adults in the county and their family caregivers.
Your introduction, I made the reference to creative aging. What is creative aging?
There was a very famous psychiatrist in aging, Gene Cohen, who said, "The arts are chocolate for your brain." And he was firmly of the belief that older adults who engage in creative and performing arts experience health benefits and well-being benefits. And it's a non-pharmacological intervention, and it's fun.
And it just keeps you active and keeps you thinking.
Yes, well, as you demonstrate yourself as a thespian.
Yeah, well, yeah, we were just talking about that just in the segment before about theater. All of that will help us as we get older.
Exactly.
And let's face it, nobody gets younger. Everybody gets older.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. That's the role, is to be around a long time. Innovation in Caregiving Awards. Tell me about that. And when is that going to be? And what is that, the Innovation in Caregiving Awards?
Well, Benjamin Rose has a Emerita board member by the name of Betty Rose. but she passed away several years ago. But she wanted to leave a legacy to the organization. And in the 1970s, she volunteered at our former nursing home, Margaret Wagner House. And she would observe the nursing assistants as they cared for the residents and how the residents used their walkers and wheelchairs. And she was very creative, inventive. She would find ways to make it better, ways to make washing hair easier, or using a wheelchair. And so when she wanted to take her money and give it to us for a specific purpose, she thought she would leave a legacy gift, and that's the Innovation in Caregiving Award. She wants to honor family caregivers, like the viewers out there, who are in the process of helping an older adult who may have some physical limitations. And she wants to make sure that if they come up with an innovative idea, a little device that they make, or they adapt, or a method or a technique, that they can apply for this, and they can win $1,000 and receive a plaque at our annual caregiving conference.
How do they submit now? Submit their submissions, I guess. How do they, you know what I mean? How do they apply? Submit their submissions.
They go online to benrose.org if they can, and it's right on our homepage. They can just click on it and learn more about it, or else they can call 216-791-8000 and ask us to mail them out an application, and then they complete it and send it back to us.
And that's going to be, that phone number is 791-8000. We've got it on the screen. We might keep it up there for a little bit for people can get a pencil and write that down. The deadline for your submissions for this is June the 30th. When is the event itself, and where will the event be held?
The event will be November 13th at our headquarters at Fairhill and MLK.
I'm going to hold this. Maybe we can get a shot of this on camera number 3. Why is it important to give awards like this to everyday people who are out there doing the work?
I think it empowers them, and it also acknowledges how important their contribution is. If we didn't have families taking care of older adults in this country, I don't know who would do it, because they really do the yeoman's share of the work, and they need to be honored for it.
Let's face it, America is graying. We are one of the largest growing numbers of people are those reaching 100 years of age. So we are living far longer than we were living 100 years ago as a people. We're going to see the need for more of this, aren't we?
Yes, more family caregivers, and I think we're seeing a shift too toward people wanting to stay at home and not go into a nursing home or a residential care setting. And so we want to make sure that our services, along with the services that families provide, enable them to do that.
Give me a thumbnail sketch. We've got about 30 seconds. Thumbnail sketch of something that somebody has won in a caregiving award beforehand.
Okay. We had a young woman who was caring for her sister who had a stroke, and it left her having to use a wheelchair. And what Mary found was when her sister went for paratransit transportation to doctor's appointments, and it was winter in Cleveland, she'd push her, out the door and down the driveway, and there's slush and snow and salt.
Yeah.
She really was distressed that her sister got wet and stained, and so she developed this lap cover. It's waterproof. It attaches at the feet of the footrest of and then up here, and it covers her lap, keeps her dry. And the first time that she used it and she went out to the van driver said, "I'm going to market that for you."
There you go. So those are the kinds of things we're looking at. Anything that you come up to make caregiving a little bit easier for the caregiver and for the person receiving the care.
Exactly.
And it's going to be, the deadline for submissions is June 30th, 2014. You can go to benrose.org, benrose.org, find out more information. Applications are online there.
Right.
And you certainly can call 791-8000 to get more information on what we're talking about at the Benjamin Rose Institute, which is located at the corner of Fairhill and Martin Luther King Drive in the southeast side of Cleveland.
Exactly.
Linda Nolker, Senior Vice President for the Benjamin Rose Institute on Aging, thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you on the broadcast.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Good to see you. Taking a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Good to have you with us. The American Heart Association hosts its annual Power of Laughter Luncheon and the Health Expo on May the 31st. Dr. Lori McWilliams of the Cleveland Clinic's Cerebrovascular Center, the Cleveland Clinic, and stroke survivor Eugenia Cash are both here to tell us more about this event. They'll talk about the signs and the symptoms and treatment of strokes as well. Good to have you with us. Dr. Lori McWilliams seated next to me, and Eugenia Cash seated on the left over there. Good to have you both here. Tell us about the overall mission now of the American Heart Association. That's to keep us going, right?
Correct. It's to help alert us of signs and symptoms and awareness of stroke, and help to alert us of the signs and symptoms of our risk factors, and help to really try to end stroke is the main goal.
The month of May is Stroke Month, or Stroke Awareness
Stroke Awareness Month.
Stroke Awareness Month.
Yes.
How do you recognize when somebody is having a stroke? What do you see?
That's a great question. So the symptoms can be abrupt or subtle. The main symptoms you have are really speech difficulties, slurred speech. They can have asymmetric face. So if you were to ask them to smile, their face would be a little off. They can have weakness of their arms, weakness of their legs, numbness of their arms and legs.
Get them to the hospital, get them to a paramedic as soon as possible.
Call 911. And when you call 911, say, I think my whoever is having a stroke. That's very important.
Those first few minutes are vital, aren't they?
They are. They're vital. So as soon as you start seeing someone having subtle symptoms of a stroke, you call 911 and say, I think my loved one is having a stroke, and they can come and take them to the hospital immediately.
Eugenia Cash, you're a stroke survivor. How are you doing?
I am doing wonderful, thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how you've come out of all of that.
I think I've come out of it quite well. I had my stroke in 2007 when I was about 45 years old. And I really didn't have any symptoms that I was aware of. I had migraines, but I had suffered from migraines historically, so it didn't register to me that I was actually maybe having a stroke. But I actually went to church that Sunday, and I passed out. I had this really bad headache. And since then, I've been doing quite well, changed my lifestyle, changed how I eat. And the word fast is dear to my heart. Face, arms, speech, and time.
All of those things.
All of those things.
And it affects the brain, of course, the blood flow to the brain and all of that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the Power of Laughter luncheon now. I'm intrigued by that. The power of laughter?
Yes, the power of laughter.
This luncheon that you're having in Health Expo, which is going to be May 31st at the Independence Embassy Suites in Independence.
Correct.
Why the power of laughter?
Well, it's a great way of trying to help people learn about stroke, learn about their risk factors. There's going to be health screening, and it's just another form of, a better form to help people understand about stroke, and it's a good way of learning.
Does laughter help us?
Laughter is a great remedy for everything.
Medicinally and biologically, laughter is good for us.
Laughter is very good for us. They actually have proven studies. It helps to decrease your blood pressure. It just helps to keep people just less tense and decrease bad chemicals in the body. So yes, and it helps to decrease the immune system.
You would agree with that, wouldn't you, Eugenia Cash?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yes.
Have you found that you have more of a grasp on life now and a deep appreciation of life because of what you went through?
I definitely have a deeper appreciation of life as a mother, a grandmother. I look at my grandchildren, I want to be around to nurture and enjoy them. And you look at things differently. You are more perceptive of different things in your life, what you eat, if you exercise, if you walk. They tell you sometimes, there are different symptoms, like are you a smoker, are you a drinker? I'm not a smoker, I'm not a drinker. I work out all the time, but yet and still, I had a stroke.
This annual Power of Laughter Luncheon and Health Expo, May 31st at the Embassy Suites in Independence. What's it cost? How do we get there?
It costs $55 and $35, excuse me. And it's off of 480.
Yeah.
It's right off 480.
What I wanted to ask is, how can you get tickets? How can you get it?
Oh, you can call the phone number.
Yeah. I'll put that phone number on the screen.
Yes.
That's
yes.
that 619-5156 number there, 216-619-5156. Or you can go to heart.org/Cleveland, heart.org/Cleveland. Get more information on everything we're talking about. There was an old movie with an old actor by the name of Ed Wynn many years ago. I forget the name of the movie, but he sang a song, I Love to Laugh, loud and strong and clear. All of that helps in keeping us grounded and healthy.
Correct.
What Ed Wynn was singing about in that old movie I saw many years ago when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Lori McWilliams, medical doctor for the Cerebrovascular Center of the Cleveland Clinic. Thanks for being with us, Eugenia Cash. Good to see you, my friend.
It's always
she
good
and
to
I
see
are on a couple of projects together. We're going to be
singing
with a chorus group for the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center to benefit the Cleveland Rape
Yes.
Crisis Center. And she'll be singing with me, a whole bunch of us. So
That's right.
Good to see you, my friend.
Always.
And you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Taking a break. This is Kaleidoscope. I'm Bibb. Back in a moment. This is the Morning Exchange segment. That means Marsha Mockaby, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, is with us, one of our partners on Kaleidoscope. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon, how are you doing this
I'm
morning?
fine. You too?
I'm doing good, doing good. You know, this morning I have a topic that's really sort of close to my heart, and it's something that I've been seeing over the last few weeks. And so, you know, sometimes how when we go to church and we get a sermon that's not necessarily a shouter and one that we want to hear, but it's a message that we need to know.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one of those kind of messages today. I really just want to encourage. I know we have a lot of members in our audience who are church members and who are individuals who are in our community and so forth. And I just want to encourage our parents and our grandparents to really take a stand in terms of addressing the needs of our youth. I know we have many fine parents, fine grandparents who are doing a great job. But we have a lot of younger parents in our community who really need us to step up and come alongside to assist them and support them and encourage them, because our young people are just losing ground, and we've got to sound an alarm. There is a state of emergency that we must save our young people.
And that means parents have got to be parents.
Absolutely.
You've got to stay on it. It is the hardest job you'll ever have.
24/8, not 7, 24/8.
But it's so vital. Because
Absolutely.
somebody was there for us, and we have to be there for our kids
Absolutely.
and grandkids.
And what we see is young people who don't understand the decisions that they make on the weekend can impact the rest of their lives.
That's right.
And, you know, if you've got to take a drug test to get a job, you've got to understand what that means.
There you go. That's going to do it for us. Take care.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.